Fis-servizz tal-lum inkomplu nitkellmu mal-artist veteranawċi Joseph Calleja, illum residenti f'Toronto fil-Kanada wara li emigra minn Għawdex 60 sena ilu. Matul dawn is-snin Calleja kiseb bosta suċċessi u rebaħ kompetizzjonijiet prestiġjużi. Xogħlu insibuh fatt ta' mużewijiet magħrufa fil-Kanada u fl-Istati Uniti. Calleja jibqa' wkoll assoċjat mal-arti kinetika, medju li fih huwa kkunsidrat bħala pionir. Fis-servizz tal-lum fil-waqt li nwaslu eżempji sbieħ tal-arti retrospettiva ta' Calleja, inkompli nisimgħu minn fommu l-esperjenza ta' ħajtu. Jistqar illi qatt ma waqaf jesperimenta sakemm wasal sabiex esprima l-arti viżiva illi dejjem ħolom dwarha.
You do not learn the stuff from school. I was experimenting and searching on my own. After the big exhibition, the University of Toronto saw my work and they invited me to go and teach at the University of Toronto, to teach a course in art at the University of Toronto. And in the meantime, I had already been appointed as head of an art department here in North York. And I had introduced, well, I couldn't teach kinetic art because it requires too many technical ingredients that were impossible. But I introduced photography, and I did photography myself. And I was very busy and, working and exhibiting. I stopped teaching here the retiring age is 1965. But I stopped 1960 because I wanted to do more artwork. And the last several years, I got very interested, not in simply artwork, kinetic, abstract, representational work. I got very interested in the social life we live in. In other words, no artist is an island to himself. Artists usually represent, they are a product of their time. They represent what happened. And when you look back on the history of art, great artists like Michelangelo picturing the suffering in his Pietà, and our great masterpiece in Valletta, the beheading of St. John the Baptist by Caravaggio. And of course, the great works of Goya and the 3rd of March, picturing the shooting of the rebels during the Napoleonic invasion of Spain.
Il-proġett li Calleja żviluppa matul dan l-aħħar snin semmih The Sacrifice of the Lambs. Calleja ispira ruħu mill-artali tat-tempji neolitiċi, kunċett li hu kompla jiżviluppa fl-arti viżiva tiegħu sabiex finalment wasal għall-interpretazzjoni tal-artar tas-sagrifiċċju maħluq mill-gwerer tal-lum.
I got away from painting and kinetic work and got involved with a series of work that I call the sacrifice of the lambs. Now, the sacrifice of the lambs started by accident with the altars at Hajarkim. In Hajarkim, there are two stone altars, which they say they offered ritual sacrificial offerings like lambs. And I have a little sculpture making that. And from that, it proceeded to the biblical references of Abraham sacrificing his son, and God sacrificing his son Jesus as a lamb, Agnus Dei qui tollit peccata mundi. And from then on, I proceeded on to the sacrificial human sacrifice on the altar of the modern-day conflicts. And I have several pictures depicting the suffering of these people. Now, I'm not comparing myself to the great artists like Picasso and his Guernica and the other giants that portrayed the suffering, these sacrificial offerings being started with animals and going on to humans. But in my little contribution, I thought of presenting another aspect of human life, because I feel that every artist should reflect the period he is living in.
Għal-bosta snin, Joseph Calleja kien għallim u edukatur. Min taħtu talmu studenti tal-arti f'Malta, fl-Ingilterra u fil-Kanada. Illum Calleja u veteran li jgħod il-fuq minn 90 sena. X'parir jagħti lil dawk iż-żgħażagħ li jixtiequ jieħdu l-istudji tal-arti bis-serjetà? L-arti kemm toffri karriera?
When I was teaching art, and I have spent my life making art and teaching art. And I have had great pleasure in meeting people who have been my students. To my students, I always said, if you want to make money, do not take art. Art is not the business of making money. But if you have such a strong urge that you have to do it, by all means go and do it. And when you do art, you do not aim for success. What I feel is good. I always did what I liked. And if it happened to please somebody, that was great. But if it didn't, it's too bad. But you do not sacrifice yourself. You do not become a slave to the market. Somebody coming and tell you, I want a picture to go with the interior of my living room, or I want a picture to celebrate this or that. That is commissioned art. That is, you do what you like, and if people accept it, if people appreciate it, that's wonderful. If they don't, it's too bad. That is my principle in art. You do it because you believe in it. If you don't believe in it, forget it. It's not worth it. Keep it as a hobby. That's fine. That's always the message I gave to my students. Do art because you believe in it. If not, keep it as a hobby. And if you can avoid it, do, because it's a hell of a job to make a living from art.
Matul is-snin organizza żewġ wirijiet b'eżempji tal-arti viżiva tiegħu f'Malta. Għalilna li jekk tiġih l-opportunità jippreżenta wirja oħra minkejja l-età mhux żgħira tiegħu.
Dominic Calleja, curator, invited me to have a retrospective in Valletta, and I had great help from Dominic, the late Dennis Vella, and Dr. Teresa Vella. And I would like to show some of the recent work that I have done again in Malta before I kicked the bucket. And I spoke to Dr. Sandro De Bono about it, who is the new curator at the museum. I remember in '96 I had the exhibition in Valletta, and in '97 I took it to Rabat, Audish. And in Valletta, my exhibition was opened by Dr. Everest Bartolo. I was Minister of Education, and I had a very nice contact with Dr. Bartolo. He was a very nice man, and I would like to meet him again sometimes. I would love to say hello to all the friends that I still have, members of my family in Shawkia, and all my friends now have passed. Marcel Mitzi, my longtime friend, passed away a couple of years ago. And when I come to Gozo in Malta this time, I feel like a stranger. Nobody knows me, and I know nobody.
Minkejja li f'din l-intervista kellemna bl-Ingliż, Joseph Calleja għadu jitkellem il-Malti, anke jekk għal tul ta' żmien ma jiprattikax. Bħal ħafna migranti oħra illi ħallew lill-art welidhom jistqar li qalbu għada Maltija. Anzi, fil-każ ta' Calleja awċija mix-xewkija. Dan hu l-aħħar kumment illi tagħna qabel ma ħallejnieh bi kwietu fil-kumpanija tal-familja tiegħu illi aħna nirringrazzjaw għall-akkoljenza tas-sew sabiħa illi tatna.
In iżjed minn 60 sena ma nitkellem ma tistax tensa il-Malta. You cannot forget your own native language. Not only your native language, titkellem blawċi jew bil-Malti. And about الشوكية tax-xewkien, San Juan. I used to make fireworks for the feast of St. John. I have a picture, fireworks, 1950, making fireworks for St. John's feast. And when I think about it, I dread because we used to smoke while making fireworks. And when I hear of the people that blow themselves up, I don't know how we didn't do it. Zaccaria tal-Ġarrej, Gianni Mizzi, Marcel tal-Gardel, working to make fireworks. Shawkija, hi, Shawkija. And Shawkija, it goes so out of Tashbaniet, Malta. I love when I went to the School of Art in Valletta. Kien one of Dingley never called me by name. He used to call me Tachench. Tachench, kif inti? Tachench. I was Tachench. His mother came from Gozo. He was very fond of the people. You can never forget. I dream about Gozo, Għawdex and Malta. And when you see, when I see the name of Malta and the papers here, it always makes a spark. You can never forget your origin.